My mother's father seemed larger than life. He was not Herndon J. Evans, he was Pa to his 3 grandchildren. When President Kennedy set the goal of going to the moon, I said, we're not just going to have a man in the moon, we're going to have a man on the moon. 4 days later, Pa showed me the Lexington Herald with his daily editorial quoting me, the genesis of my writing. When we stayed at Pine Mountain State Park, we took pride in registering at the lodge that bore his name. Our son bears his name now, Evan, not Herndon, of course. In 1962, Pa took me on my first airplane to help the governor cut the ribbon for the Jenny Riley State Park. I got the huge cardboard scissors. The governor used the real ones, warning me about a big show that doesn't do anything. Pa authored the book on the history of the newspaper press in Kentucky. God knows what the future might hold. Tomorrow marks a century and a quarter of time since Pa's birth. One day after the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. He loved to say the whole world looked brighter when I arrived. Before he left, he said, "Don't sing How Great Thou Art at my funeral. I'm afraid others might think I thought it was about me." In 2015, Nancy and I got to visit Newgrange, Ireland, with Dom and Sarah Crossan and 30-something beloved pilgrims as we explored Celtic spirituality. The winter solstice inspired people 5,000 years ago, 500 years before the Great Pyramids and 1,000 years before Stonehenge, to welcome the light into Newgrange on this date. Due to COVID, millions more than the few that win the lottery to go inside this week can experience it at the Newgrange webcast. As we in this church experience our own transition of the year, I am excited for the coming of the Reverend Dr. Jonathan Reinick as our associate pastor. I say our pastor because my part-time job until his call has enabled us to find a church home and community with you. As I leave the staff, we will continue to worship with, pray for, and support you as active visitors. Last Friday, all the candles of the Festival of Lights were lit with the words in Hebrew, "Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has made us holy through God's commandments and commanded us to light the Hanukkah candles." The light shines in darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it, writes John in our first Christmas poem. You don't overcome darkness with darkness, you overcome darkness with light, preaches the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Birth is just the beginning, and the incarnation did not just happen when Jesus was born, writes Father Richard Rohr in his daily emails on the incarnation this week. The whole world waits in December darkness for a glimpse of the light of God, writes Ann Weems in Kneeling in Bethlehem. On this winter solstice, how is your space brightening? Wherein does your hope lie? How is the light shining in and dispelling your darkness?